What's up, AFTERBUZZ family? You knocked and now we're buzzing you in. It's Broadway or Bust on Braxton Family Values. Check it out.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You mean the world to me. You are my everything. I swear the only thing that matters is Richie.
Hey.
Oh, baby, 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 baby. Oh, Richie, 'cause you mean so much to me. AFTERBUZZ family, we are, I don't know how many episodes deep, but it is Braxton Family Values here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, McCall Hall. You can find me on social media when sports and pop culture collide at McCall Hall. That's on Twitter. And if you're on Instagram, check me out at McCall Hall of Fame. And for all of those thirsty, desert dry, thirsty folks out there who are wondering where this man was last week, give him a little bit of welcome.
Listen, I'm back. It's good to be back.
I missed you. I missed you. My mom missed you too.
Hey, Mom.
I don't know who wants you more, me or my mom.
Hey, Mom. Can she
My
cook?
God. Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Better than me, so I guess I lost.
That's all I need to know. Listen, y'all follow me. Stalk me on Insta. See, if y'all follow me and stalk me on Instagram, you can see my stories, and then you can catch up with everything I'm doing at DJ Richie Skye, and on Twitter at DJ Richie Skye, and like maybe once a week on Snapchat at Richie Skye.
Okay, so Snapchat is at Richie Skye.
Yeah.
I don't think I follow you on Snapchat.
I think I'm about to I feel like I'm about to quit Snapchat.
Snapchat me that. If it's cool. Welcome once again. So check this out. This is AFTERBUZZ TV. We love you guys.
We do.
We have had an absolute phenomenal time this season with Braxton Family Values. One of the greatest things about this show, there are some shows that have more views than us, but I guarantee you we have the most comments on YouTube, Twitter. We have such engagement. Our ratio for engagement is so high. So I want to shout you guys out. So before I do that, if you guys haven't followed us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, it's at AFTERBUZZ TV.
I wonder, can they pull up like the chat? Can they do that?
Can you? I think they can. Voice of God, if you can help me out. But to all you guys on social media, AFTERBUZZ TV across the board, rate, subscribe, engage. We love it. So with that, I want to shout out some folks from last week because they were just so great. Michaela King, she says she loves my hair. I love you too, darling. Quinette Gibbs had a great breakdown about Tamar. Jay Brown. Tamar pissed me off too for a minute. Who is this? Graphic Jack. He loved Ladies Night last week. Shout out to Kalima. Netta, I think that's Netta or Net. Maxwell, Baby E. Mercedes, UNITY. So again, you guys, I'm always looking on Instagram. I'm always looking on Snapchat. I'm always looking on YouTube. Engage with us. I respond to everything.
Come on now.
So again, Kalima, miss you. Mr. Carter, we miss you. But for today, it's me and DJ
Dynamic
Richie
duo.
Skye. So before we start, cheers to you for being back.
Ay, cheers. I'm glad to be back.
What were you up to last week? So So for you guys who don't know, he's a real like DJ, like for real.
So I had to go to a pop-up concert last weekend with one of my other gigs. So I had to do that, which was nice. It was awesome. I loved it. Had a good time. I would have liked to have been able to do both, but sometimes the work does call us and we have to go.
It happens a lot, you guys. It's Hollywood.
Listen.
I get a call for something tonight, I'm out.
Bloop.
Bloop. So let's get into it. Braxton Family Values, Season 5, episode Broadway or Bust, honey. Scene 1 opens up at Toni's house. Toni is trying to make Miss E's
bacon
biscuits. Now remember back on Martin, he used to go, "Don't mess with my mama biscuit. Don't mess with my mama biscuit."
It's so funny though. Like, I feel like that's not something I ever make is biscuits. Like, I'm never just sitting around cooking some biscuits.
It's-
and I feel like she just made the biscuits. Like, did she make anything else?
Biscuits have declined in popularity over the past 20 years because no one wants carbs. But I'm telling you,
I love bread. I do not
I love
eat
bread.
it.
I love bread more than Oprah. You guys seen the commercial? I love bread. McCall Hall loves bread. Okay, but because of the whole carbohydrate thing, people don't want to eat it. But it's really good for you.
I feel like I need them. Like
Minus the almond extract. Toni, girl,
Like, why
stop.
would you do that? Like, why would you even?
Because she's trying to have a little je ne sais. How you say it?
Oh, you done messed me up.
I
now,
messed you
too.
up. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Y'all know.
Toni
Let
was
us
trying to be too fancy with them damn biscuits.
Je ne sais
You
quoi?
Je ne sais quoi.
There you go.
She was trying to have too much je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi in the biscuits. They're biscuits, girl.
Right. Like,
They don't need almond extract. So while they're making biscuits, Towanda shares about her acting progressions and process, and she shares about this whole monologue. So
shout out. Let me tell you something. I took an acting class like a couple of years ago.
really, you have to look.
I don't have the patience. Let me tell you why.
Because there's levels to this thing called Hollywood and acting. I tell you that.
Number one, listen, I feel like I took years to discover who I really am as a person in general. I ain't got time to be trying to be nobody else. Number two, I feel like the way, listen, hold on. The way these people run around, like if you live in Hollywood, the way these people run around to these auditions from place to place, and the way, sometimes I see the way people treat the people in the auditions and they treat, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, kudos to all of you.
Yeah,
Kudos.
I want to just piggyback off of that. Thank you for bringing it up. Last Friday, on behalf of AfterBuzz and Black Hollywood Live, we went to a red carpet for a really cool foundation.
Love a red carpet.
I love a red carpet. But one of our co-workers was not able to come. She was simply too tired. She said she had been at 5 auditions that day. 5 auditions in one day.
Auditioning is really a full-time job, and then you have to go to work after that because you ain't getting paid to audition.
You ain't getting paid to die in audition. This whole thing called Hollywood, we might make it look grand on Instagram, but it's really hard. So let's move on to Tamar hosting the producers from Broadway at her home.
They brought up the chat. Right, who puts almonds in biscuits? Come on, Michelle D.
So, YouTube, social media family, my eyes are terrible. I have glasses.
I'm gonna read them for you.
I have glasses, but because they glare, I can't wear them on screen. They tell me not to wear them. So, DJ Richie Skye,
I will be your
since
reader.
we now have the chat up, I'm going to leave you on chat duty. So
Boom.
just from time to time, glance up and let me know what's going on.
I got you, boo.
So Tamar hosts the New York producers at her home, which I immediately said this is shady. Because we left off last week with the sisters saying, well, why weren't we invited to a meeting? Tamar assured them, what she had the previous episode was introductory. It was like, hey, I'm Tamar. This is my husband, Vince. We have a beautiful love child named Logan. Okay? My mom's name is Evelyn. That's what we're about. Why are you having an additional meeting with them without your sisters?
Okay. Now,
please explain, because I was confused as hell.
Let me tell y'all about me, like what I would do. In that situation, I feel like she did due diligence, and she told them about the opportunity.
Okay.
They sat there with their mouths open.
Yes.
And granted, I can see both sides of the coin to a certain degree. I can see where they might feel slighted because they weren't included in the initial conversation. However, if she did bring it to them,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
If she did bring it to them and they kind of reacted, I feel like since she was approached, why not continue that conversation? Like, why lose out on an opportunity because they don't want to do it?
But they never said that they didn't want to do it. And I know you were gone last week, so maybe you missed this during the episode. They never said they did not want to do it. They just wanted to know more about the business process behind it. And I have to just bring this up. Tamar tells the producers, verbatim, her sisters are not interested.
Well, she did clarify, she said they just kind of sat there.
But again, they wanted to know more about how this came about. What's the money like? I mean, like, there were details that I think were overlooked. And again, this is production. We don't know what happened. Right? But just for a viewer, because it's about, this is a network for the fans, by the fans. I didn't get the sense that Tamar really brought her sisters in full fold. I didn't get the sense.
I guess what I'm thinking is I don't really feel like she would have a need to do anything otherwise.
Either way, the producers want to work with Tamar. And I said this last week, Tamar is the biggest name out of them all.
Exactly.
While Toni is a living legend. Let's say it again. Toni Braxton.
Living legend.
Living legend. Richie, Skye. Toni Braxton.
She is a living legend.
Exactly. Tamar is the star. There are levels to this. So I do understand. What did they say?
Michelle, Michelle, we on the same page right now. She said if they don't want to do it, I'm not going to block my checks.
and Richie says that I'm on a different page.
Oh, but hold on though. Can I read the next one?
Yeah.
Brock Girl 85, or is it Broke Girl? I don't know. I hope you ain't broke.
Broke or Brock, either way.
The sisters' reaction said to me they didn't want to be involved. They weren't included in the initial conversation because the producers wanted to work with Tamar. Do you think that's really the case?
I think if I'm a business person, either way, I want to work with Tamar first.
Right.
But if I'm Tamar, I'm family first. I say, hey, that's cool. First meeting with me, second meeting, bring in my girls. That's just me. So let's move on.
Okay.
Either way, the producers want Tamar, no matter what. Next scene, I almost said Tamar. Trina and her sons go out for gelato in LA.
And it looks so good too.
So good.
Oh my god.
Salivating
a little bit.
Oh my god. So her sons are in town, and while they're having gelato, they're having a little bit of discussion about Gabe. And we all know that Gabe and Trina's sons they've had a rocky relationship since the official breakup. And breakups are hard via social media. Breakups are hard via your family.
Yeah.
And if you got kids, it's a whole nother level. Okay. And the shoe or ball or whatever you want to say drops when Caleb, her younger son, I think Eric is older by.
I don't know the ages.
Because Caleb can drink. So Caleb is like 21, 22. Eric. Eric is 21, 22. I don't know. Either way, Caleb can't drink. Eric can drink. Eric is like, whatever. Caleb says he has never liked Gabe.
I mean,
so let's just break mathematically. Caleb, like I don't know how old he is, but let's say he's 17. Okay, not old enough to drink, but still old enough to know. In fact, I'll give him 19 just to be fair. Let's say Caleb is 19. Trina and Gabe have been together for 14 years. That means when Caleb was introduced to Gabe, he was 5. So from a 5-year-old to 19. And again, I don't know the ages, so, there might be a couple years off. He has never liked Gabe. And those are very formative years of your life. And you've never liked this man.
That's crazy. And deep, too, if you think about it. Like, that's who he has. Those are his memories.
His memories.
I mean, you think about your childhood, and you think back on your childhood. I don't know about everybody, but I'm saying you hope that it's just filled with, fun memories. And you know what I'm saying? Like good times. And when you look back on it, you're like, I did have a good childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, like, for me as a viewer, or even as not even a parent, but I'm saying like just somebody that's watching, I'm like, your childhood memories are filled with a man that you don't like.
I can remember 5 vividly. I'm still in my 20s, okay? And I'm looking a little rough today. I'm coming from like the gym, okay? But I still remember 5.
Yeah.
I remember 19, okay? Those years of my life, no matter how old you get, you always go back to those years. So for Caleb to have anger during those years, I actually feel for him.
Yeah. And it really showed. I mean, he was just point blank like, okay, yeah, I'm going to let him know.
So let's get into it. You bring up a great point. Caleb assures Trina, whenever Gabe shows his ass up, I'm going to let him know I'm not here for his bullshit. And I said bullshit live on air because Caleb is not here for the bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's real. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you, Caleb. I applaud you for being a young man, but a man with conviction. Scene 4, Towanda has Trina over to her LA condo to talk about Towanda and her kids.
I love Tawanda's LA condo. Was that in Calabasas?
I don't know.
I'm about to go move.
Because I live in I live Beverly adjacent. I'm around the border of Beverly Hills in LA, okay?
Just say that. She live in Beverly Hills. She live in Bel Air.
The rent is cheaper, Beverly adjacent. So all you guys who don't live in LA, when you guys decide to make that leap of faith and come to Hollywood, always live adjacent to like Hollywood, Beverly Hills, right there on the cusp.
Or live in North Hollywood.
Or no, North Hollywood too.
I love North Hollywood.
Yeah, you live in North Hollywood.
I do.
Mm-hmm. So I brought this up last week with Kalima. Every time Towanda checks in on her family, it's her kids. First, Andre, her husband. Second, in this episode, she said, I gotta call my kids. Not her husband, but her kids. Towanda, I love you down. That and shout out to Towanda, because I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a member of the Divine Nine. Towanda is a member of Zeta Phi Beta. Shout out to you guys with that Zeta Phi Beta blue eyeliner. I love you down, girl.
My girl Didi does her makeup. Shout out to Didi.
Really?
Yeah.
She does a great job.
Yeah.
I don't see many black women who can do the royal blue liner
Didi
well.
is known for doing like a color on somebody's face. Yeah.
She's doing a great
She
Didi,
does.
I got to find
Shout
you.
out to Didi Kelly.
Towanda looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But she never calls to talk to her husband. Only her kids.
Maybe he's her husband.
She's never said that though. And we've been trying for the past. I feel like in AfterBuzz TV family, let me know if I'm calling BS on this, but I feel like for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been saying, Towanda doesn't have a connection to her husband. She's married to her kids, not her husband. And I love Towanda, but I get a sense that she's not fully flying. Okay, spreading her wings because she's hanging on to that husband, and I don't think she's happy. And I want to see her happy.
Yeah, something is up there. I think now that you mention it, there's something.
There's something. And
there's something there.
And Towanda, if you come here on our show, I'm not going to pry too hard, but I'm just curious, like, are you happy?
Where's Andre?
Towanda shares about her monologue, and the sisters say, no matter what, I don't want to be a part of it because I don't want to be a prop. Trina, so let me imitate Trina. Trina says, I don't want to be a tree. So here's a game we're going to play real quick. 30-second game.
Okay.
I'm going to yell out an object.
Okay.
Okay, not a human.
Okay.
DJ Richie Skye.
This is me acting, guys.
You are a hot dog. That's a hot dog?
Yeah.
Where are the buns?
On both sides of me.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay, next. Go.
So next up, Tamar goes to share her ideas for the Broadway musical at some theater. I don't know where they were at. Did you catch that?
No, I was trying to because I was determined to know all the locations in tonight's show, but something happened where
I got. Oh, so spoiler alert! I got one location.
I got one.
At the end of the show.
One.
it was at the end of the show. I got one location. So the producers were at some theater in LA, and Tamar shows up with Vince, who I am not a sister in that group. I'm not a Braxton. But if I were, Vince, to me, like if I had to give a speech at their wedding, Vince does right by Tamar. He always has.
Yes, God.
He's never let her go to anything by herself. He's always supported her. I don't know what goes on, behind the scenes, but Vince, in my opinion, is the perfect brother-in-law.
Yeah, that's a good man, Savannah.
Savannah?
You never seen Waiting to Excel? Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Somebody school her in the chat. We'll talk about that later.
School me. So Tamar goes to share her ideas. She goes on to say that she feels like the storyline could be Jackson 5-esque, which, girl, we've had the Jackson 5 story on ABC. We've had that terrible Flex Alexander adaptation on BET. We don't need anything else of Jackson's. Let Michael rest and let Tito's edges lay. We don't need anything else from the Jacksons.
I was just like, why are we talking about this? Is that where we going with it? Is she gonna be Janet? That's what I thought this was going. She was gonna tell the Janet Jackson story. That's what I was hoping. Or the Rebe story. Somebody's story. LaToya's story. Anybody's story, but she was talking about her.
I thought she was gonna say LaToya.
Which I would be actually fascinated by.
Because LaToya is low-key kind of funny.
I mean, because I feel like we see their story played out. We saw it in the Toni Braxton biopic.
So here's where I dropped my popcorn. So Richie and I watch the show together every week. We do. We know we have dinner and we chat about it and we take notes. And I officially dropped my food when Tamar said she feels like she could play someone like Celie in The Color Purple.
Why did you drop your food?
Because I, like the producer, feel like Tamar is honestly Suge Avery.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
the flesh.
It was so funny that you said that he said that, because I
was like, when she said Celie, I said, since when? Since
she
when?
She just doesn't give me Celie. Like, she
nothing
gives
about
me,
her being is Celie.
No, I mean, because I won't say what I was gonna say, but
say it.
No, I feel like Celie is typically played by someone who is not seen as like the very like the not the attractive one. You know what I'm saying? She's and not
she's say, okay. So I'm gonna say
so
it.
That's why.
So here's what I'm gonna say. And every Braxton woman is beat for the gods and beautiful, but the way they position them, Traci could play Celie.
I was about to say Towanda.
No.
And
Traci.
And
no.
hold on.
Okay.
This to me is more in regards to her desire to be an actress.
Okay.
That's what I was looking at it for. That's why I was thinking that Towanda would probably be one that was most like, okay, I want to do this because it is Broadway and it is acting.
Right. So if you took the two who are interested in acting, Towanda and Tamar, Towanda would probably be Celie, Tamar is Suge.
Boom.
But if you were to take all the sisters and know their history, I would say that Traci's always been that one that's kind of been overlooked. And not saying I have no issues with Traci. I don't, but it's just.
But I don't even feel like she has that aspiration though.
I don't think she does, but I disagreed with Tamar. Why the? I almost said why the F. But why the hell would you say that you're Celie?
It makes sense, and I guess in her brain, because I feel like maybe she was thinking if the vehicle is for her, then she would have the starring role.
But that's the thing about Color Purple. The Color Purple, and just like the producer, I think his name is David. I might be wrong, so I don't want to say it wrong. He said Suge came in at a later date in the movie, but stole it.
Yeah, and I feel like she is a scene.
And that is Tamar.
She is
let Toni warm it up.
Definitely a scene stealing persona. I agree with you. I agree with everybody.
Sister.
And didn't she sing? No,
we're two of a kind, sister. Y'all know that song.
You might be in the next one yourself, girl.
Honey. I would love to just go to a juke joint right now and sing like Suge Avery.
I don't think I could do Broadway.
Or God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something.
Hey, you ain't gonna get away with that version, girl.
God is trying to tell you.
I'm gonna need you to fall out on the floor for this song. Like, you gotta wild out and fall out on the floor.
Let's move on a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, if I were Tamar, I would have been offended at this point. The producers say, we want you to audition a little bit and sing Love and War. You know my live vocal abilities. Why would you put me on the spot to sing Love and War?
Listen, hold on. Now, first off, I kind of agree with that whole situation. I audition people every day at one of my other gigs, but when they come in, I'm always like, "Can you sing something for me? Can you go ahead?" Like, so I feel like she should be prepared. Like, that girl, you know the song.
But see, here's the thing. I agree with you. However, Tamar, the way that the production team, this is to the production, the way you set this up for us scene-wise, it was like Tamar and Vince were having gelato. I said, hey, I think the producers are down the street. Why don't we stop by and share our ideas? But the way the producers and the way you're thinking is they knew they were coming.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
But I thought Tamar randomly stopped by.
I felt like she said, "Oh, and thank God they were still here, so now I have time to meet them."
And maybe I missed that. So either way,
Yeah.
Tamar, you know, she's what I like to call game ready.
Yeah.
She went in there. They said, "Why don't you sing something for us?" She sang "Love and War."
Killed it.
Did you see me during her performance?
Mm-mm. I was so glued to the scene, like to the TV.
Literally, I looked at the TV and she was like, "On the front." I was just getting it. Hands, praise hands. Tamar, yes.
She always kills that song.
Yes, Tamar, yes. That live spirit.
And she, you know, sometimes when people are singing, I'm like on the edge of my seat, like, are they gonna hit that note? Like, she just, I don't even get on the edge of my seat because I always know she's just gonna get it.
Because in the studio version, when she says "only in love and war," she goes up. Mm-hmm. But when she did it live, she like did a little like.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a run.
A little bit of a run. It was cute. It was really cute. So once they leave there after Tamar kills it, Towanda goes shopping for her monologue outfit because she's an elderly Spanish grandma. It was a major fail. Mm-hmm. She can't find an option. And then they cut to her at the theater. So when they cut to Towanda at the theater, I thought that the Braxton Family Values production crew had miraculously and mysteriously come into my home because I have those exact same pajamas.
Oh, wait, what?
And that exact same.
Is that what you do when you go home?
As soon as I leave here, I've had a long day. I've been at work all day, and I'm here. I will be in polka dot pajamas with a shower cap on, okay, getting my life. Maybe
McCall, you have just ruined the audience's perception of what you do when you go home. We were all expecting negligee, you know, silk all over the place, not these polka dot pajamas.
Hollywood is not all it's cracked up to be. Okay, so
I've lost faith in you.
This is what Towanda's interpretation of an elderly Spanish grandmother looks like. I don't know if she hit it quite on the head.
I don't know either.
Because abuela to me would have on like a muumuu.
Yeah, something like that.
Gray hair. I don't know.
Know.
What I will say, Towanda, if you're going to go in for this scene, go in. I love Towanda. Mm-hmm. But her eye makeup, and I said last week, you weren't here. Tawanda's eye makeup is never out of place. Liner, mascara, highlight. Every bit is meticulous. Day in, day out. Confessional or scene. If you really want to sell the fact that you're an actress,
you gotta lose some of that.
And
he actually said that the first week we met him.
Did he? Because I don't remember that.
He said you're gonna have to lose all of this.
Did he say that?
He said it.
I don't remember that, but
yup.
But you know, I'm glad he did because as soon as I saw her, I said, I get the costume, but I don't get what you're doing facially.
Yeah.
You're too perfect. Mm-hmm. And that's kudos to your friend who does her makeup. Mm-hmm. Kudos to just her, who she is.
But she's got to lose that to get into the scene. Because with acting, you have to give up everything about yourself. I think.
There's a movie called Precious. Remember Precious?
Mm-hmm.
Mariah
I could
Carey.
only watch it once.
Me too. But Mariah Carey, she's a diva. And if you guys follow us on Snapchat at AfterBuzz TV, across the board, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, DJ Richie, Skye, and I were joking before we started the show, and I pulled a diva move. I said, fluorescent lights? I need warmer lights on me. I'm like Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is a diva. But for Precious, she bought into the role, okay? And she stripped down the makeup, and she went in.
Yeah.
Towanda, watch Precious. Look at Mariah. She looks like shit. But it's okay, because it's for a role.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I get it.
It's for a role. So David and Towanda are chatting, and they're having this whole monologue. Toni is there. Did you find it odd that Toni wanted to be a lesbian?
I did. I was like, where did that come from? Like, why would you randomly just pick that? But okay.
So here's the deal. They say, let me sip this tea.
Please tell me.
And DJ Richie, Skye, keep track of our chats and all that. They say in Hollywood, your perfect role is the role that you really feel like you are in real life. I've always said I wanted to play an attorney or a cop. I want to drop the hammer or lock your ass up.
Wow.
Right?
I've always wanted to play a villain, but I thought it was just because it was so opposite of me.
Right. And that's true. So Toni wanting to be a lesbian, what does that say? Is that the opposite of Toni?
Experimentation.
Or is that truly her deep down, hope and dream for herself? Because I always wanted to be an attorney. I always wanted to be a lawyer.
I could see you doing that, actually.
Because I want to just nail you, catch you in a lie.
I could see you doing that.
But either way, Toni wanting to play a lesbian, either that's completely opposite of who she is, Toni Braxton, you're just so not a lesbian, or deep down you are a lesbian. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I found it intriguing. Toni offers a suggestion to Wanda to help her get more into the role. It sounded like a Negro spiritual.
Dang.
I wasn't sure what to make of it. So Towanda gets to her very little scene. So when they said monologue, I'm thinking a 15-minute monologue.
I've done a monologue, and that is long. I'm praying to God that was cut, and because when she said she was exhausted by the end, I was like, that was 3 lines.
I counted 1 break. I counted 2 breaks, and then I counted 3.
I told you 3 lines.
And the scene was done.
And she was like, I'm exhausted.
I said, exhausted from what? From what?
Work.
So they bring in an actual Hollywood agent and manager, and basically what he said was, you got to keep working, which I was not expecting.
I wasn't expecting it either, because normally in these types of scenes, you would think that they kind of set you up. Then the commercial break, you don't know what they're gonna say, and then they come back and they're like, "Yes, I'll sign you right now." You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was expecting.
That's what I thought.
So to see that, it was like, "Oh yeah, okay, this is a little bit more real than I was expecting." So I like that.
It gave me hope, because I had an agent at one point. Then my agent, we and I went our separate ways. I said, if Towanda can get an agent like that with a three-part monologue, why am I not signed? CAA, IMG, Wasserman, I'm available. I promise you.
Somebody call her.
I'll make you a lot of money. I promise you, to any agency.
I think you could do your own stand-up comedy. You should think about that, like a one-woman show. I could see that. I could see that for you.
Oh, well, that sounds like my bedroom life.
Oh. Boom.
Long story short, the agent says she needs improvement. Cut scene. Then the final scene opens up at public school. Woo! I finally recognized a restaurant. I've been drunk at both locations multiple times. So to all of my international and national viewers, shout out to all these people who are commenting. Public School is a local Southern California restaurant. Great happy hour. There's one in Culver City.
I love a happy
right
ending.
on Washington. And there's one in Sherman Oaks. I think it's Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
Right on Ventura. So you know where the 405 and the 101 meet? Public school around the corner.
Boom.
Public school. You owe me big time. I should never buy another beer. So Gabe and the boys meet up to share their thoughts about how everything went down, and it was tense. It was tense.
It was. I mean, but I'm so glad that, you know, they were able to express their opinions, and they did. I was like, yes. But then Gabe, oh my God.
Caleb looks like who? Putting you on the spot.
I don't know.
He looks like Trina. Caleb is Trina's twin. I totally spit. Caleb is Trina's twin. The lips, it's all in the mouth. It's all in the mouth. Caleb is not here, like I said, for the BS. And he basically attacks.
Not at all.
He basically attacks Gabe, which, let's get it. This is our final thing we want to talk about. Caleb is very judgmental about Gabe in this whole situation. He has the right to be. Because, again, at 5 years old, you're not far from a baby. And you love your mommy. And mommy's hurting because of this man. So you attach the hurt. But Caleb's only, 17 and 19? He haven't had a whole lot of life experience. And he was going hard at Gabe. Now, this is a message to Gabe. And AfterBuzz TV family, I think you guys probably will feel me. Gabe said, say what you want to say to me. Okay? I'm cool. I won't say anything back. But the second Caleb really hit him in the heart, he acted like he was like
he responded.
He was a hit dog.
Holler.
He hollered. And I didn't like that. I didn't
like it either. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, I don't feel like you say that what he just said to a kid.
No, you don't. So basically, Caleb is not going to forgive Gabe, and Eric, because I think he's a little bit older, forgives him. Trina comes in. She senses the tension, but it's there.
I'm all here for him saying, I don't want any type of relationship with you later. I mean, we've lost our home because of you. You know, I mean, that's a huge thing.
Huge.
Like
I've
that's
been displaced.
Huge.
Gabe and Hurricane Katrina are on the same level.
Yeah.
They both displaced families.
And his was unnecessarily so. You got beef with the parent, that's fine. But you got to think about the totality of your actions. And now you've affected the kids. That's just low down and dirty.
Well, it'll all come to blows next week, season finale. We'll have a full set. DJ Richie, Skye, I'm so glad you're back.
I'm back.
You guys, again, AfterBuzz TV, subscribe, rate us,
like us,
engage us, like us,
talk to us.
I'm always on YouTube writing you guys back. That's because I'm McCall Hall at McCall Hall when sports and pop culture collide. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me at DJ Richie Skye on Instagram and the Twitter, and sometimes on Snapchat at Richie Skye. I mean, I don't know.
Well, look, next
us.
week, if you haven't seen a single episode, next week, be here. I promise you, it's gonna be electric. We'll see you guys next week on AfterBuzz TV, Braxton Family Values, and we're out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.